So what do I mean by a top speedrunning record? Well, one that's popular and highly optimized. Typically, the less popular the game is, the easier it is to break the record, which is why I can hold world records in Flash games. Other things that could potentially make it easier to break the record is the newness of the game and the length of the game, with shorter games usually leading to quicker improvement. So there's a lot of different games to choose from Super Mario Bros. To Super Mario Odyssey to Super Mario 64, but I'm mainly going to be talking about SM64 here. If they wanted to, anyone could break an obscure speedrunning record, but can anyone practice enough to break a top record? I think a lot of us would like to think that we could break it if we really just tried, like a lot, but what other factors play into this? How much can be accomplished with just pure time and practice? Do certain people hit a wall that they aren't able to get past? And can players catch up to people who have already put thousands of hours into the game? So how long would it take? Let's take a look at the best example I can think of, which would be Liam. He started speedrunning Super Mario 64 4 years ago and managed to break the record after 3 years of grinding. If I remember correctly, he did take a couple breaks, but when he was running the game, he was grinding daily for long hours. The record when he started, I believe, was a 1:40:10 by Cheese, but by the time he caught up, it had dropped by about a minute and a half. So if someone started grinding today, it would probably take another 3 years, at which point the record could potentially be a 1:36. Although improvement becomes harder and harder, so maybe not, I don't know. Rest assured, the record will be significantly lower than what it is now, and it's going to be even harder to catch up. Anyway, looking at what Liam did raises some questions, like how many people have the time to play for that long, how many would be able to play for 8 hours a day and not burn out completely, and other things. I would argue that few people have the amount of time it takes to really dedicate themselves to this game. Even fewer have the right mentality to be able to persist for such a long period of time. And finally, I should mention just video game skill. That might come from past experiences in similar games like 3D Mario's, as well as just the general skill of being a quick learner, which sometimes depends on your age, because it's easier to learn when you're younger. I think when combining all these factors, it means fewer are able to become record breakers at this point. Also, these days new world record holders tend to have held previous world records in the game as well. Oh, one last thing I want to mention, when it comes to becoming the best in the world at something, luck plays a huge factor. There's a good video by Vsauce that explains how many circumstances must come together for someone to become the GOAT of a certain sport, and I think it applies to speedrunning too. You need all the free time, the right mentality, the dedication, hardware, skill, all that stuff to maintain being the best. I know I certainly don't have the skills to break the record, so if you want to give becoming a world record holder in Super Mario 64, good luck. I'll just stick to my old irrelevant Flash games.